My husband was infertile, and I had always kept it a secret from him. Until one night, when he was drunk, I heard him whisper Luna in my ear. It was then I realized that his longing for a child had driven him to sleep with the new junior secretary. As he wished, I let him go and enjoy the joys of family life. But later, he stumbled into my wedding, his eyes bloodshot. "Gracie, please come with me." I lowered my gaze to my belly, smiling sweetly. "I can't. I'm pregnant." Actually, discovering Marcus's infidelity wasn't difficult at all. When a man doesn't love you, everything he does feels wrong. That evening, as I was dozing on the sofa, my phone rang. "Grace, Marcus is drunk. Could you come pick him up?" It was Owen, Marcus's college roommate and also a partner in our company. Marcus snatched the phone away. "Grace, my mother was right. You're just a barren hen. I really don't understand. Is it that hard for you to have a child?" On the other end of the line, our mutual friends feigned persuasion, but they were actually fanning the flames. "Oh, Marcus, don't talk to Gracie like that. You'll upset her. Gracie, you've been together for so many years. A child is the crystallization of love. It wouldn't be a bad thing to have one." Their words, one after another, became sharp swords piercing my chest, leaving me breathless with pain. Looking back, Marcus had been acting strangely these past few days. He often shared videos and photos of children with me. It was clear he loved children and desperately wanted one of his own. But in the first year of our marriage, he was diagnosed with infertility. To protect his ego, I lied, claiming my health was poor and I needed a few years to recover, or forcing a pregnancy would be life-threatening. At that time, the way he looked at me was full of heartache. He even suggested getting a vasectomy, saying he couldn't put me in any danger. His words were like embers, warming my entire heart and making me feel that everything I did was worth it. I never imagined, however, that all that tenderness had an expiration date. In just 5 short years, he regretted it. Lost in thought, Marcus muttered, "Good thing I wasn't stupid enough to actually get a vasectomy back then, or I'd be a useless man who couldn't have kids now." Suddenly, I couldn't breathe, feeling as if my heart was tearing apart. I thought, if this is how it is, I should tell him the truth. I shouldn't have to endure this unwarranted suffering. But as I was preparing to leave, a lipstick in the corner of the car unexpectedly stung my eyes. Sometimes, a woman's sixth sense is just that sharp. In an instant, the perfume scent I had ignored in the car suddenly became intense, aggressively invading my nostrils. I couldn't help but feel nauseous. I was certain this scent wasn't mine. The lipstick shade was a translucent rosy pink, one I hadn't bought in a very long time. My heart instantly tightened, and I couldn't breathe. But to confirm my suspicions, I rushed to the private without delay. The moment I entered, a girl bumped into me. "Excuse me, are you okay?" The polite words got stuck in my throat the moment I saw her clearly. More precisely, it wasn't her face, but her lips. The shade she was wearing was almost identical to the lipstick I'd found. For a moment, I stared at her lips, lost in thought. Is there something on my face? I don't know if it was my imagination, but I thought I saw a hint of slyness at the corner of her mouth. "Luna, let's go." The girl answered, then turned and hurried towards the girl who had called her. Her hair swished past, leaving a faint fragrance. I froze. Even the perfume scent was identical. Could there really be such a coincidence? As if drawn by an unseen force, I followed them. Marcus's personal driver stood by the Maybach's door, ushering them into the car with utmost courtesy. With a press of the accelerator, the silver-gray car slid into traffic, its taillights shrinking to a tiny red dot. Marcus was completely drunk. When he saw me, he slumped against me, his voice choked with sobs. "Wife, I love you so much. Let's be together forever, okay?" If it were before, I would have nodded and said, "Okay." But now, a heavy lump was stuck in my chest. I gently pushed him away, trying to calm myself. Owen interjected, trying to smooth things over. "Gracie, Marcus just really wants a child. Don't take what he just said to heart. We can all see how much he loves you." But then he changed his tone. "Gracie, I heard your health is almost recovered. I'm sure you also hope to enjoy the joys of family life with Marcus in your later years, right? Let's discuss this another time." Seeing my firm stance, he hesitated, then finally let out a deep sigh. "You're clearly pushing Marcus into someone else's arms." The words sounded like a hint, but even more like a warning. After returning home, to verify my suspicions, I trembling unlocked his phone with his fingerprint. I saw a pinned chat with the nickname Luna. My hand trembling, I tapped on it. A dense stream of intimate messages appeared before my eyes. "Marcus, I'm home. I miss you so much. Below it was a selfie of the girl, looking tipsy, her cheeks rosy, playful, and adorable. "You little rascal." Just 3 short words, yet I could sense the doting affection in Marcus's tone. "Marcus, is Gracie still unwilling to have a child?" "It's okay. If she doesn't want to, I do. I'd be happy to give you a cute baby boy." Marcus sent a head pat emoji. "Luna, you're a good girl. Luna, give me a child." This chat record showed it was sent this afternoon. Below it was a hotel location. At that time, Marcus told me he had a very urgent business engagement. I sneered. So that was the kind of engagement. Pretty urgent, indeed. I saved all the records one by one. All the years Marcus and I had been together, I never proactively checked his phone. Because I trusted him enough. We would give each other all the space we needed. Likewise, he wouldn't proactively check mine. This was the understanding we both shared. I had originally thought Marcus was madly in love with me, that even if all other men cheated, he wouldn't. Now I knew, it was just because he'd forgotten to check his phone. Tears welled in my eyes, and I fought to hold them back, tilting my head up. But the moment I did, they streamed down like a torrent. The words "Marcus cheated" echoed relentlessly in my mind. Like a merciless knife, they pierced through me. The pain was suffocating. I tried my hardest to calm myself, wiping away my tears with both hands. Then I told myself, "Don't cry, Grace. The most important thing now is to preserve the evidence." I created a secondary account and used it to add that woman on WhatsApp. The next day, Marcus woke up, completely oblivious to what had happened last night, including the humiliation he'd inflicted on me in front of everyone. "Gracie, it's so good to have you. Thank you for picking me up last night. To reward you, I'm going to make you a bowl of your favorite hearty stew with my own hands." Marcus's kiss hadn't even landed before I subtly dodged it. I simply hummed an acknowledgement, offering no further reply. 2 days later, I opened my phone to check. To my surprise, the woman had accepted my friend request. I opened her social media feed. The caption read, "I'm the happiest person right now." The accompanying picture was a photo of Marcus and her together. Her social media feed showed, "Visible for 3 days only." And indeed, in a daze, I noticed this woman actually resembled me by 3 or 4 parts. Nearing closing time, Marcus called me. "Gracie, I'm bringing a work friend home for dinner today. I'd appreciate it if you could help prepare dinner." "Which friend? What's their name?" "You don't know her. She's a colleague I've been working with recently, Luna." I pondered. Luna? That must be the woman Marcus was cheating with. Hearing that woman's name made my heart ache. As if thousands of ants were crawling inside me. "Gracie, did you hear me?" The voice from the other end of the line interrupted my thoughts. "Okay," I replied coolly, snapping back to reality. Marcus really knew how to play games, bringing his mistress to meet his wife. On top of that, he expected me, his wife, to cook and serve his mistress. What an absurd charade. And it was happening to me. What was Marcus doing, putting me in such a position? The sound of the door opening reached me, and the two of them entered the house together. The moment I saw them, I struggled to suppress my inner rage, clenching my teeth and feigning a welcoming smile. But's faint hickey on his neck still caught my eye instantly, even though he had deliberately tried to cover it. My tightly clenched hand slowly relaxed. I told myself, "Grace, you need to stay calm. Now isn't the time. Calm down." I took a deep breath, maintaining my smile. Luna seemed a little guilty when she saw me. She acted exceptionally polite and demure. Her every gesture and movement resembled that of a well-bred lady. She even deliberately distanced herself from Marcus. Their actions seemed normal, and their interaction appeared to be that of ordinary work colleagues. Their feigned politeness was flawlessly disguised. If I hadn't known about her affair with Marcus beforehand, I would have truly been fooled by her docile, gentle, and seemingly appropriate demeanor. It was only that day I learned Luna had been specially recruited into the company as Marcus's junior schoolmate. I brought all the dishes to the table and specifically served Luna a bowl of soup, saying, "This soup is very fresh. I just bought it from the market. It won't taste good if it sits too long, so have it while it's hot. Marcus, you've been working hard with your engagements. You should also have more soup to nourish yourself, so you'll have the energy for your work." Luna choked on the soup, and I caught Marcus's subconscious movement to stand up. But I pretended not to notice. I continued to entertain them with a faint smile. I had already installed surveillance cameras in the room beforehand. Halfway through dinner, I pretended my best friend Violet needed me for something, giving them some time alone. Before leaving, I specifically instructed Marcus to make sure Ms. Luna was well taken care of. And I told Ms. Luna not to be reserved, to treat it like her own home. Not long after I left, Luna couldn't hold back anymore. She walked straight over and sat on Marcus's lap. Her movements were incredibly practiced. It was clear this wasn't the first time. She flirted with Marcus through her words. "Luna, what are you doing?" "Not here," Marcus whispered, though a deep groan escaped his throat. "Marcus, I didn't believe it when you told me before, but after seeing her these 2 times, Grace really is a useless naive simpleton," Luna said, clearly adopting the demeanor of a mistress. "Marcus, don't you think it's exciting here?" At some point, Luna had unbuttoned the top button of her blouse, revealing the lace trim underneath. Marcus's eyes darkened, and his Adam's apple bobbed. Soon, the two were entwined on the sofa. I sat in the car, opened my phone, and watched them on the living room sofa, caressing and passionately entangled, their movements so intense it was as if they wanted to devour each other. Even though I was mentally prepared, seeing this scene still brought agonizing pain. So this was what betrayal felt like. It hurt so much. A pain that etched itself into my very bones. I fought back tears and told myself, "Grace, disloyal love is no different from garbage. You can live perfectly fine without Marcus. There are plenty of good men in the world, not just him." Seeing that it was almost time, I quickly composed myself. I deliberately called Marcus to tell him I was almost there. The sight of them scrambling off the sofa in a panic was both comical and ridiculous. I knew this wasn't the best time to confront Marcus. I opened the door and walked in. Marcus was in the kitchen, washing dishes. The perfect house husband. Luna was sitting politely on the sofa, as if nothing had just happened. They were very good at cleaning up their mess. All traces on the sofa had been wiped clean. "How was your friend?" Marcus asked when he saw me enter. "It's fine." I originally didn't want to engage with him. After washing the dishes, Marcus brought out a plate of fruit. Subconsciously, he offered it to Luna first. Luna, seeing this, immediately panicked. "Gracie, don't overthink it." Marcus just saw I was a guest and closer, so he handed it to me first. "I wasn't overthinking it." "Perhaps you were," I said with a faint smile. "Luna, don't worry about it. Gracie is generous. She won't mind such a small thing." "Yes, I'm usually very generous, but I'm not easily fooled." Marcus seemed to realize something and hastily tried to smooth things over. "Gracie's just straightforward like that. Don't mind her, Luna." "Yes, Ms. Luna, I always am." Luna just gave an awkward smile and said nothing more. I thought Marcus would sense something was off from my unusual behavior, that he would confess his infidelity to me, but he didn't. He chose to deceive himself. So, I would play along with him until I had collected all the evidence. Marcus told me he had a project in Texas. He needed to go there for an on-site inspection. It would be a week-long business trip. On the way to the airport, driving him, we didn't speak, just maintained a constant silence. Before boarding the plane, he hugged me and said, "Gracie, I'll miss you. Make sure you miss me too, eat well, and call me if anything comes up." I simply hummed faintly in response. "Gracie, why do you seem unhappy? Is it because I'll be away on a business trip?" "Yes. If I told you not to go, would you stay and be with me?" I feigned a touch of sadness. Marcus still insisted on telling me how incredibly important this project was to him, how it would benefit our future, and that for the sake of our future, he had no choice but to go. Marcus's excuse was airtight. If I had insisted on stopping him, I would have appeared unreasonable and narrow-minded. Sure enough, Marcus was a master at lying. How could he do it without batting an eye? In the past, I would have been moved to tears, believing I must have done something incredibly good in my previous life to encounter such a wonderful fiancé in this one. But now, it just made me sick to my stomach. A day later, I opened my phone's location tracker to check. Location, Hawaii. Then I opened Luna's social media feed, caption, "Having the one you love by your side is enough." Photo, a picture of the two of them on a Hawaiian island. Marcus and Luna were making peace signs, their smiles radiating from the screen. From the moment Marcus used business trip as an excuse, I knew it was all just a lie. What he didn't know was this: I was merely playing along with his charade. With repeated deceptions, my departure became inevitable. Ever since I got together with Marcus, my life had revolved around him. I washed his clothes, cooked his meals, took care of the house, and had effectively transformed myself into a stay-at-home wife. All those years with him, I willingly put my career aside to be his obedient and supportive partner. My life no longer contained Grace herself. I remembered how I used to be a highly praised valedictorian, winning countless awards in college, the university campus queen whom countless people pursued. But to stay by Marcus's side, I gave up the opportunity for further studies overseas. How could I have fallen for Marcus's sweet talk back then and ended up like this? Was it because childhood sweethearts were hard to forget? I secretly told myself, I must reclaim the most radiant Grace. During the week Marcus and Luna were away on their rendezvous. With my mentor's recommendation, I received an offer from a top university abroad. I was busy preparing all the documents for studying abroad. That week, I completely forgot about Marcus. A week later, Marcus returned. He still looked very tired, as if discussing the project had exhausted him. Gracie, this project is really interesting. If it goes through, it'll provide an extra layer of security for our future. My hard work this past week won't have been in vain. I was tired of Marcus's casually fabricated lies. I didn't know when he had become such a master of deceit. Looking at him made my skin crawl with disgust. Marcus had probably expected me to praise him and agree, but seeing me ignore him, he walked over and tried to put his arm around my waist. I instantly dodged him. Gracie, I'm sorry. I neglected you during my business trip. I prepared a gift for you to apologize. Please don't be mad, okay? As he spoke, he pulled out a bracelet and put it on my wrist. A moment later, I took it off. Just leave it there for now. I'm tired. I'm going to rest, I said expressionlessly. I returned to the room. Marcus didn't come in for a long time. I knew he was chatting with Luna. I opened Luna's social media feed and saw a bracelet identical to the one on my wrist. My finger paused on the screen. I couldn't help but sneer. Marcus was truly a master of juggling relationships. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Then, I turned off the light and went to sleep. I woke up the next day to find Marcus had slept on the sofa. When Marcus's mother had her birthday, Marcus and I both went back. Marcus had also invited some colleagues and friends to help celebrate his mother's birthday. Luna was among them. I guessed the others were just a pretense. The only person he truly wanted there was Luna, nothing more. On her birthday, Eleanor was exceptionally warm towards Luna, making sure she had all the best food and drinks. Perhaps it was too obvious, as Marcus cleared his throat a few times. Eleanor understood immediately, but her behavior didn't change in the lightest. Instead, she shot me a side glance, filled with undisguised contempt. Some people, they can't have children themselves, yet they cling to their spot on the marriage certificate. When was sober, he still stood by me, at least on the surface. He shielded me behind him. Mom, don't say that. I love Gracie very much. I believe once Gracie's health improves, we'll have children. Just then, Luna interrupted Marcus with a coy protest. Marcus, I might need to take a long leave of absence. Marcus instinctively showed concern. What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Luna lowered her head, revealing a girlish shyness. Because I'm pregnant. Everyone fell silent, simultaneously turning their gaze to me. A flicker of panic crossed Marcus's eyes, and he glanced at me guiltily, forcing a smile. Is that so? Well, congratulations then. My nails were already digging into my flesh. It seemed to be the only way to alleviate the pain in my heart. The entire room fell silent, everyone looking at each other. It turned out everyone was well aware of their illicit relationship. From beginning to end, I was the only one kept in the dark. Only, my mother-in-law was so overjoyed she almost fainted, gripping Luna's hands. Luna, is what you just said true? Luna nodded. Eleanor happily took off the ancestral bracelet and put it on Luna's wrist. She had personally put that bracelet on me when Marcus and I got married, but later, after learning I had difficulty conceiving, she forcefully took it back. Because she said, until I bore a child, the ancestors of the Marcus family would never acknowledge me. Later, Marcus, fearing I'd be sad, personally found a piece of high-quality jade and commissioned the best craftsman to create a unique jade bracelet for me. He said it represented his purest love for me. Mom, what are you doing? Marcus, his face clouded, stepped in to stop her. Eleanor dropped the pretense completely. Luna is pregnant. How long are you going to drag things, you? Tea with this woman who can't have children? Go get a divorce now. Do you want to wait until Luna's belly is huge before marrying her? Marcus frantically tried to explain to me. Gracie, don't listen to my mom's nonsense. She's just crazy about having a grandchild. Just say you're willing to have children. We'll have our own. I slowly pried open his tightly clenched fingers and said coldly, are you sure you want to keep up this act? Or rather, do you truly take me for a naive fool who'd just listened to you? Marcus's face turned ashen, but his eyes were alarmingly red. No, it's not like that. Believe me, I never thought about divorcing you. Gracie, I know you're scared of having children. If you don't want to, then after Luna gives birth, can we adopt the baby? I closed my eyes, feeling as if I had just heard the most ridiculous thing in the world. Let's get a divorce. You'll leave with nothing. Marcus slumped to the ground, staring blankly at everything around him. As for me, I sent all the organized evidence to Violet. Violet was my best friend and a renowned divorce lawyer. I had complete confidence in her to handle this case for me. Since admitted to the infidelity, the entire divorce process went smoothly. On the day they registered their marriage, Luna came along too. When came to pick me up, Luna was already sitting in the passenger seat. Gracie, I'm sorry, I get a little carsick, so I took the passenger seat. You don't mind, do you? Luna's passive-aggressive demeanor instantly made my stomach churn. Gracie, Luna gets carsick, that's why I let her take the passenger seat. If it makes you uncomfortable, I can sit in the back, and you can drive, then both of you can sit up front. I chuckled. What, have you two not transitioned out of your roles as the cheating husband and the mistress yet? Didn't the mistress want to take my place? Why is she still putting on that manipulative facade? Luna's face instantly darkened. To assert her superiority, she pet her arms around Marcus's neck and cooed in a strained voice, "Honey, the baby in my belly just kicked me when it heard we're getting married. I wonder if she's carrying a little troublemaker in there. Moving already, and she's not even hatched yet." I retorted indifferently. Luna was furious. Seeing her flustered expression, I felt satisfied. In the rearview mirror, I saw Luna's barely suppressed joy. All the way, she kept trying to assert her presence. "Gracie, thank you for being infertile. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met such a wonderful man like Marcus. Are you thinking, what good can a cheating man be?" She answered her own question. "But and I are different. I'm not like you, unable to bear children." "Oh? So you're saying Marcus sees you as nothing more than a baby-making machine?" Luna's expression shifted, but she quickly composed herself and continued to ramble on. Annoyed, I poked Marcus. "Tell me, if I said I was willing to have a child now, would you still want a divorce?" Marcus slammed on the brakes, looking at me with delight, his voice trembling. "Really, Gracie?" Luna's eyes instantly welled up, and she looked aggrieved. "Marcus, what are you saying? Aren't we going to register our marriage today?" I smiled faintly. "Of course it's false. I couldn't have a child with you anyway." Marcus didn't grasp the meaning of my words, and his eyelids drooped, looking crestfallen. Luna, on the other hand, breathed a sigh of relief, finally quieting down and not daring to say another word. The moment the seal was stamped, I knew Marcus and I were completely over. Luna saw us walk out and happily ran forward to link her arm through Marcus's. "Marcus, let's go register our marriage quickly." Marcus's eyes were clouded, and he squeezed out a few words from his throat. "Another day." Then he looked at me. "Gracie, I'm sorry. From now on, if you ever need anything from me, just ask." Although left with nothing from the divorce settlement, the company he found Ed before our marriage was already quite substantial. Aside from the properties and cars he'd signed away in a gift agreement, he still had a considerable amount of money left from his premarital stock dividends. I smiled faintly. "Be sure to notify me on your wedding day. I'll send you a grand gift." Ms. Luna, Marcus's, and my wedding was known as the wedding of the century in Maplewood, with all the important figures attending and offering their blessings. "Your wedding certainly can't be worse than ours, can it?" Luna pursed her small, pouty lips. "Naturally." She paused, then added, "You absolutely must witness Marcus's and my happiness with your own eyes. If you don't come, I'll look down on you." Of course, I absolutely had to witness Marcus's expression when he learned the truth. Over the next few months, to ensure a smooth transition to studying abroad, I dedicated myself entirely to preparing for the TOEFL. Yet, one or two friends would periodically update me on Marcus and Luna's whereabouts. I heard Marcus kept delaying registering their marriage and holding a wedding. Luna's belly grew day by day, and she cried constantly. It was only after Eleanor, Marcus's mother, threatened suicide that Marcus finally relented and registered their marriage with Luna. And the wedding date was set for next Wednesday. It was exactly 3 days before my departure for overseas. I had originally planned that even if I couldn't attend the wedding of that scandalous pair, I would have Violet livestream their expressions when they learned the truth. Now, it seemed fate wanted me to handle everything up close myself. The ceremony arrived as scheduled. Their family hosted a banquet, gathering many relatives and friends. At the wedding venue, the groom was impeccably dressed, yet not a hint of joy could be seen on his face. The MC enthusiastically delivered his speech on stage. "Please welcome the bride." Suddenly, someone from the audience shouted, "Why is the bride so heavy? Why pregnant?" "No, that's not right. I remember you had infertility, you couldn't have children at all." It was the doctor who had performed the checkup for us back then. At that time, I had specifically implored him not to tell Marcus about his condition, thinking I could postpone it for as long as possible. Today, I had specifically invited him here. Eleanor, Marcus's mother, hearing someone speak of her son like that, immediately started shouting obscenities like a shrew. "What nonsense are you spouting? How dare you curse my son? Someone, get him out of here." The doctor suddenly realized something, his gaze flitting between me, Marcus, and Luna. He seemed to finally understand, looking as if he were laughing out of exasperation. "Ms. Grace, so this was your intention in inviting me here today." I felt a bit awkward, as I had, after all, used him. I sheepishly made a gesture of apology towards him. Marcus was stunned, looking at me in disbelief, asking for confirmation. "Gracie, you're tricking me, aren't you? You bribed this doctor to get revenge on me, didn't you?" Luna, seeing that the truth was exposed, frantically tried to have me thrown out, but Marcus stopped her. Marcus's eyes were bloodshot, and he seemed to have gone somewhat mad. "Gracie, I knew you still loved me. Everything you've done today proves your love for me. Don't worry. As long as you say you're willing to have my child, I'll go divorce Luna immediately. I don't want the baby in her belly, I only want our child." I sneered. "Remember when I said I couldn't have a child with you? No, you can't have a child with anyone." The large screen scrolled. Medical records were publicly displayed on the big screen. The diagnosis clearly stated that Marcus had infertility, with a sperm count of 0, making conception impossible. Marcus's vitality seemed to drain away instantly, and he aged 10 years in a moment. Luna, unwilling to give up, was still trying to argue her way out. Before I left, I saw Marcus violently push Luna away. Luna lost her balance and fell from the elevated wedding stage. Her pure white wedding dress instantly bloomed with crimson petals. And I walked straight ahead, never looking back. "Gracie, I was wrong. Please give me another chance. I just wanted a child too much, and I was temporarily led astray. I truly love you. Believe it or not, I never intended to hurt you." Eleanor, Marcus's mother, also kept apologizing to me. "Gracie, it's my fault. Everyone makes mistakes. Can you forgive me just this once? I've gotten the bracelet back from that little hussy. Come back, and I'll personally put it on you. You're my only daughter-in-law. I'll never be foolish again." For these 3 days, they constantly tried to reach me through various channels, but I turned them all away. They didn't realize they were wrong. They realized Marcus was the barren one they'd been talking about. They were scared. Before boarding the plane, I blocked both Marcus and Eleanor. Including all the friends who tried to mediate a reconciliation, I blocked them all as well. Anyone who would try to make me go back couldn't be a good person. I boarded the plane to the UK alone. After a journey of over 10 hours, the plane finally landed safely. Upon arriving at my accommodation, I immediately let Violet know I was safe. And I instructed Violet not to tell anyone my whereabouts. A few days later, I received a video call from Violet. "Gracie, I have some explosive news for you." "What news? You sound so happy." "It's about Marcus and Luna, of course. That fall at the wedding, Luna didn't lose the baby, but she went into premature labor. Marcus and Eleanor, unwilling to give up, even had a paternity test done on the baby. The result, as expected, showed no relation to them whatsoever. To get revenge, Marcus sent Luna to a group of perverts. When she was found, she was barely alive. But didn't let Marcus off either. She went live, exposing Marcus for cheat. ING on her with multiple women, and she was just one of them. And he had the nerve to say he loved you. So shameless. Violet, in the video, was enthusiastically and ceaselessly recounting their embarrassing incidents. After listening, I smiled. Not out of happiness, but out of release. It was the kind of release that meant turning a new page on all past events. I used to think leaving Marcus would be the end of the world. But when I truly saw things clearly and truly let go, I found that leaving wasn't as hard as I'd imagined. It was simply like a light boat having sailed past countless mountains. Although I had experienced a bad relationship, at 25, I still longed for a beautiful love. Because I always believed in love. 6 months after arriving in the UK, I met an overseas Chinese. His name was Ethan, and he attended the same school as me. We didn't often cross paths, but a chance encounter led to a unique connection between us. He seemed rather aloof. But deep down, he was very humorous. As I got to know him, I found we were compatible in every aspect. I confessed to him about my failed and disappointing relationship. But he still told me I deserved to be loved. After getting to know each other more deeply, Ethan and I officially started dating. He respected all my thoughts and supported all my decisions. He reported everything to me and shared things proactively. He gave me a complete sense of security. Being with him was healing and very happy. Ethan's family background, talent, and appearance were all superior to Marcus's. At that moment, I asked myself, Grace, how did I ever fall for Marcus back then? It really shows that I never learn until it hurts. I secretly rejoiced, thinking, it was a good thing I hit that wall, otherwise, I might have missed out on Ethan. After finishing my studies in the UK, Ethan and I both chose to return home. 2 years had passed. Coming back to this place again, it felt both familiar and strange. After learned of my return, and, through repeated attempts, he found me. Gracie, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I must have been out of my mind. I wronged you. For the sake of what we once had, please give me another chance to love you again. Marcus, it's too late. With that, I got into my car and left. I thought he wouldn't appear again. To my surprise, the next day, he brought me my favorite specialty from back home. Without a word, I threw it into the trash can. Gracie, can't we just have a proper talk? After all these years, can't you forgive me? Marcus knew there was no hope of winning me back. He picked up the specialty he had brought and turned to leave. Later, Ethan and I had both met each other's parents. Both families were very pleased with the union. They then set the wedding date for next Monday. On the wedding day, Ethan, in his suit, stood tall and handsome on the altar. I, in my wedding dress, holding a bouquet of flowers, slowly walked towards him. In that moment, I found happiness. Everyone cheered and offered their blessings. I saw Marcus in the audience. As we finished toasting, Marcus, at some point, stumbled into the wedding reception, reeking of alcohol. Gracie, please, come with me. I looked down at my lower belly and smiled sweetly. I can't leave. I'm pregnant. It was as if Marcus had been struck by something. The light in his eyes shattered. Perhaps from that moment on, he truly knew we could never go back. We had long since passed the point of no return. Ethan knew Marcus was my ex-husband. He glared fiercely at Marcus. Seeing this, I linked arms with Ethan and walked away, then had him dragged out. Our wedding continued as planned. After the wedding, Ethan's jealousy was undeniable. He pulled me into a hug and kissed me. I realized then that loving someone could be this blissful. Even when he was jealous, he was adorable. A gentle evening breeze swept by, and we cuddled together under the setting sun. I suddenly understood. In love, there's no right or wrong, only loving or not loving. Someone who doesn't love you, no matter how desperately they try to turn things around, it's futile. The one who loves you, no matter how long they wait, will always come for you. First, you must learn to love yourself, and only then can you truly love others. Years later, my daughter Lily and I saw a white-haired elderly woman begging. We heard from others that her son had been a heavy drinker, slipped and drowned in the river. And she, too, had gradually lost her mind. At times, she would say that she had caused her son's death. Other times, she would claim her son and daughter-in-law had given her a chubby grandson. Lily asked me, Mommy, can I have a coin? That elderly woman looked so poor. I searched through my bag, but couldn't find a single coin. Sweetie, Mommy doesn't have any coins left. Lily looked a little disappointed. I comforted her. Perhaps we just weren't meant to cross paths with that elderly woman. Some things just can't be forced. Lily seemed to half understand. Suddenly, a small boy passed by us, holding a large pinwheel. Lily's attention was instantly captured. The thought of giving the elderly woman a coin just moments ago was completely forgotten. See? There's no lingering resentment, nothing that can't be moved past. Looking forward is what truly matters. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.